Welcome to another Empires and Puzzles Books video. Today I want to talk about the fiends that we're seeing running around. It started with Elizabeth and Hannah, and now we're seeing some 3 and 4-star heroes that put out fiends and some other 5-star heroes that put out fiends. But we're still seeing a ton of fiends coming from Elizabeth and Hannah. And I'm going to tell you how to make those fiends even stronger, as if they're not enough of a pain already. So as we come out of this current meta, if we're coming out of it of minions being everywhere with Bara and Freya, and we're moving to fiends, one of the things that we're seeing is people using the fiends in combination with the minions, which is great. You get hit on both sides. Well, your enemy gets hit on both sides. They're getting picked at from your minions, and then they're getting picked at from the fiends. So it's, death by 1,000 paper cuts. So the question is, how do you make them stronger? Well, anyone who has faced Elizabeth or Hannah now in a bloody battle where there is no healing, we see how absolutely devastating these fiends can be. Because the only way to remove a fiend once they're put on you is by either building up enough minions that they got bumped off the chart because there's only so many spaces. Good luck with that because you'll need to create 3 minions every time a fiend gets added. So that's some bad math. But the fastest way to get rid of the fiends is through healing, because they absorb some of your healing, and then once they absorb that healing, they disappear. But in a bloody battle where there is no healing, that's a major problem. So fiends are very hard to get rid of. So who cares? I mean, you'll use that every now and then when there's a bloody battle for 5 stars. What about in your war? What about in your daily rating? Is there a way we can create our own bloody battle where these fiends are hard to get rid of? And the answer is yes. There are certain specific heroes that will steal the healing or reduce the healing that the enemy gets. And this happens before the fiends get fed. So, I was just recently questioned about putting Costume Elkinen, and you all know if you watch my channel, I love Costume Elkinen. I think he's one of the most underrated heroes in the game. He is so fantastic in so many ways. But I was recently questioned about why I was putting a Costume Elkinen on a defense team in war, but I had him paired with Hannah, and I knew enough to know that the caster, meaning Elkinen, is stealing 61% of any of the healing applied to the target and nearby enemies. So if they get fiends from Hannah and then they get hit by Elkinen, it's like having my own healer there. But not only is Elkinen getting healed, he's getting healed before the fiends get fed, so the fiends would stay longer and make uh, basically Hannah's fiends even more powerful. It's like adding a steroid to the fiends because they're harder to get rid of because you're stealing that health. So Costume Milk, he's one of my favorites. But this synergy that I'm going to be talking about here between stealing or reducing health recovery may very well start popping up in some of your raid and wars. So you can tell people you saw or heard it here first. Costume Elkinen is just one example. He's taking 61% of the healing. The rest would go to the fiends. At the end of this conversation, I will put up a video demonstrating this so you can see it happen live in a raid. So who else? Vonda. God, she's evil. She is one of the only Morlovia heroes that I don't have, so this might inspire people to go chasing Vonda even more than they have in the past, and Vonda will have a costume this coming October. But Vonda, for at least 2 turns, the caster seals 61% of healing applied to all enemies. So you have a Vonda with an Elizabeth, everybody gets fiends, and Vonda's stealing any healing, and she's very fast, so she's going to keep hitting um, that special over and over again. So it's going to be very hard for somebody to get rid of those fiends. And then Victor, another Halloween Morlovia hero who is also very fast. He's just hitting one target, but he is also stealing. He's nice because he is off color from Elizabeth, still same element being dark as Hannah. And then on the 4-star level, so I'm just going to be talking mostly about Elizabeth and Hannah, but this applies to all Fiend creating heroes and all heroes that either steal or reduce the health received. So we are aware that a lot of people use 4 stars mixed in with their 5. So I'm going to talk about them here, but know that these also apply to the 4-star. There's at least one 4-star hero now from the Slayer event that's creating Fiends. So Valeria, also from the Morlovia event, she is also very fast ice hero. So she's off element from both Elizabeth and Hannah, and she is going to be stealing health as well. So this is nice because not only is it taking the health away, but it's actually boosting your heroes and giving them more health back. Now, looking at this problem through a different lens, or not a problem, I say a solution, another thing that can make this really powerful is just heroes that reduce the amount of healing that the enemy is receiving. So we're not getting the benefit here of receiving that healing, but it's keeping our fiends alive longer and making them more dangerous. So, Hero of the Month, Bei Young. He's just hitting the target. Again, nice that he's a holy hero, but the target's going to get 75% decrease for any healing received for a couple of turns. As is, and here is a blast from the way past. And this, who knows, this video might inspire people to look at some of these older heroes in a different way. Perseus, old hero of the month. He is a fast hero. He's ice, so he is also off color from Hannah and Elizabeth. And the target is getting 100% decrease for any healing received for 4 turns. So imagine that. You give them fiends and then smack them with Perseus, and they're getting no healing. Those fiends are not going anywhere for at least 4 turns. That can be pretty brutal and pretty distracting in a fight. Like, I mean, you're trying to shake these fiends and you can't get any healing. And never mind the fact that with all these things, even with the fiends, any healing that you're applying, you're not even getting the benefit, right? So the enemy is just suffocating between 1,000 paper cuts and not being able to be healed. The next group of heroes we want to talk about, Summer Sands. So heroes like Yunin, he is going to be reducing 50% the healing that all enemies are getting for 2 turns. So he is slow, but imagine him paired with Elizabeth and Hannah. Rock, the newer Sans hero, all enemies get 50% less healing. Rana, we got Rana here. She's average, and actually so is Rock. Average Rana here, the target and nearby enemies are getting 75% reduction to their healing that they're receiving. And another hero that we don't see a whole lot, and maybe this makes this hero look a little different to us, from the Pirates event, Sargasso. So Captain Sargasso here, he is the target nearbys are getting negative 80% decrease to any healing that they're receiving. And along that same line, with looking at 4-star, here's another one we don't see played very often. He's slow, 4-star Hu Tao, but all enemies are getting negative 50% decrease for any healing. So that's just going to keep those fiends on there longer. Back to the Pirates event, we got Jabbar, who's the average 4-star, and Gafar, who is a fast 4-star. I actually like Gafar a lot, and he's giving the target negative 100% increase for any healing. And season 3 Valhalla, we had Fura, all enemies are getting negative 50% decrease for any healing. So keep your eyes out for these heroes that decrease healing, or even better, steal the healing. Pair them up with your Elizabeth or Hannah, and those fiends just become really a nuisance. All right, so let me go and cut to the chase with this video. I'm going to show you an example I did here with my Hannah and my costume Elkinen, and you will see what I'm talking about in live action here. Well, in recorded action here. So comments, questions below. Let me know what you think about this synergy. Is this a way to make those fiends even more of a nuisance? Enjoy.
We're going to want to do a test here. So I just put fiends on Magni and Bold Tusk from Hannah. Now fiends stay there, like you can't get rid of them until they, let's do it this way, sorry. So the summons a golden idol fiend for the target and nearby enemies. The fiend damages the enemy with 43% every turn. The fiend absorbs healing and disappears when it has absorbed health equal to 20% of the owner's max health. So the question now is, in looking at synergy with heroes like Costume Elkanin, will they absorb, because Elkanin steals health, so will he steal the health first, which means the minions last, or excuse me, the fiends last even longer, or do the fiends go away first? So let's check it out. All right, so we got healing on Bold Tusk over there. And it's going to be for 3 turns, so we need to get Albie up here to speed. Hopefully we can get him up in 3 turns. And there he is. Now let's watch the healing. Check that out. Did you see what happened? Elkanin got the healing, not the Bold Tusk Fiend. See, there's very little removed from the Bold Tusk Fiend. That is craziness. That's a good way to make the fiends last even longer.